What is up, guys? Welcome to another Total War multiplayer battle replay viewing. And I say another, even though it's probably been like a month since I did the last replay viewing, and I think that was an Attila match, Siege of Rome. Here we have a 3v3 save file provided to you by Heli or Bishamenten, the Discord mod, the best Discord mod ever. On his side, he has Yam and the Pope. And on the other side, he has C4, Terry, and Lakespan99. And as always, guys, if you want me to view your multiplayer replays, any entertaining battles, interesting tactics on display, you can hop onto Discord. Link is in the description, and share the files, and let's get right on with it. This is on the Foothills map, which has a lot of granularity in the terrain. I haven't really played on this map ever. In fact, I have not played Shogun 2 multiplayer in a long time. All right. I'm gonna have to slow things down because these are very, very fast battles. Actually, the last viewing I did was a Napoleon Total War battle, which was very, very slow. A very good change of pace. I wish there was more positioning that happened in Shogun 2 battles before the actual fight. It does happen on some river maps, but not on this one. Not on a map like Foothills, but there's a lot of granularity in the terrain. There's the farmhouse, workshop, and shrine, and I think that's going to be where the most intense fighting is going to be. There are two members on red team. I'm saying red team based on what the minimap says. So red team is made up of the Pope, Bishamenten, and Yam. The Pope is bringing a very traditional heavy army with some Naginata attendants, Nodachi Samurai, Yari Cavalry leading the way. Some Naginata Samurai. Don't see any modern units. Nodachi Samurai. Meanwhile, Yam has his own force of Nodachi Samurai supported by Yari Ashigaru with some Daikyu Samurai. Interesting, some skirmishing units. And archers actually have a pretty big niche on this map because they can fire over obstructions. Meanwhile, Heli is rushing over his army of Naginata warrior monks and Nodachi Samurai. Very traditional heavy armies. I don't know if they had an agreement on that, traditional only, but whatever. So it seems like the entirety of red team is moving up to fight in this sector of the map where the sword dojo... Oh, sorry, there are 5 dojos on this map. I thought there were 3. I just assumed the other 2 were not active. Anyway, let's hit normal speed. C4 on the blue team. Blue team is a very... dark colored team, which I think will make it easier to differentiate what's going on, except Heli also has a black and yellow color scheme. But yeah, it seems red team is really committing hard to linking up, forming a united front, and maybe pushing on the flank of the blue team. There is one modern army here on the blue team side. This is Lakespan99, bringing some Katana Kachi, Spear Levy, and Vermilion Bird Force. White Bear Infantry. Vermilion Bird Force and Katana Kachi. A very, very well-rounded army overall. He does not seem to have any cavalry, though. That seems to be a significant weakness, I think, on blue team side. Blue team has a lot less cavalry. I think they're banking on winning the ranged fight or the melee fight. The Pope has charged his Naginata attendants as a screen, and they are getting absolutely shredded. I don't think that was worth it. They're gonna break. They might end up breaking. Oh no. As I was saying, they might end up breaking before they even get the chance to do anything, but it seems they lasted long enough to allow the Nodachi Samurai to fall in. So Nodachi Samurai did not have to take a counter charge. Yeah, in come all the cavalry. In comes all the cavalry here. This is the entire cavalry swarm on multiple parts. We got the Pope charging his cavalry on this side. Lakespan has actually brought his own cavalry, Saber Cavalry. Interesting, you would bring Saber Cavalry. There's some not threatening Naginata Samurai. Lakespan is losing the fight on this side, it seems. Though Bishamenten has also rushed in his light cavalry in a sort of suicide charge of the light brigade. Yeah, this is an absolute mess. So they've pretty much ignored each other on this side. They are forming up their positions. The red team is forming up positions mainly as deterrence against blue team, so they don't capture all the dojos. But this is just a huge cavalry fest right now. They are really banking on breaking through all these units with cavalry. Line infantry and katana kachi not holding well against cavalry. Especially this terrain. I'm surprised that Lekespan brought line infantry to this fight. They're not very good in... Or I should say they're very, very difficult to take advantage of in this type of terrain. Archers make a lot more sense. Cavalry make a lot more sense because they don't get countered by any gun units. They don't have to worry too much about running into the line of fire of gun units on this map. They can get them pretty close without taking any, without being exposed to any threats. And yep, the entire flank of blue team seems to have broken. They have been rolled over by the combined forces of the Pope and Yam and Bishamenten. We have some contact on the western part of the map. C4 is charging his units up the hill against Heli's forces. I'm not sure if Heli's forces got a counter charge off. Maybe Heli was focusing on micromanaging his cavalry on this end, but it seems C4's gambit is paying off with this uphill charge. He has Matchlock Ashigaru in extreme close quarters. In extreme close quarters fire support into Nodachi Samurai, who have their Banzai about to wear off. So this line looks like it's going to break. But even if C4 manages to break through all the scrap, he has to fight against Matchlock Warrior Monks, who have really good morale, actually. We're taking some arrow fire on the central sector of the map. Nodachi Samurai, no armor at all, taking a cavalry charge as well. And not even getting a counter charge off. This is brutal, man. Yeah, that's brutal. And they're barely getting any Nodachi, any kills off after that charge. C4 got 25 kills to almost like no losses maybe on the charge. Interestingly, hang on. Interestingly, Lekespan managed to reform his line. He managed to form a second line regroup, sort of, with Vermilion Bird Force. They have really good morale, 11 morale, some Matchlock Ashigaru to support, and they have good terrain on their side. But Naginata Samurai... Actually, never mind. Naginata Samurai are not that good in the melee. They don't do a lot of damage. They last a long time, but they don't do a lot of damage. They barely did any damage on this charge, and they're getting shredded. Absolutely shredded. Another unit of Naginata Samurai might have better luck against the Matchlock Ashigaru. Avatar's Bodyguard from Bishamenten is giving some supports. These are not highly armored units. These Vermilion Bird Force have 4 armor, which is actually upgraded. Surprisingly, so I take that back. They do have decent armor. In the central sector, we got Matchlock Ashigaru, Daikyu Samurai. Terry and C4 seem to be doing a good job. Unfortunately, their ally Lekespan got knocked out very early by a combined force. They couldn't really support him, but they're putting up a good fight in the center. Blue team is putting up a very good fight in the center, and I think the archery dojo is helping them in terms of reload rate of all units, so their archers and guns fire much faster. And yeah, this is interesting. It was looking really dicey. It was looking very, very bad for blue team earlier. Like they were going to be dominated, but they seem to be regrouping, sort of. But is it too little, too late? Got Nodachi Samurai from Yam's side. Katana Cavalry, very, very sturdy units. With a unit of Yari Ashigaru completely unengaged in the background as another line of defense. Naginata attendants charging in with a flanking maneuver. We got Heli disrupting Terry's. Terry and C4. Never mind. They were regrouping, but that was too little, too late. Too little, too late. Blue team has been absolutely slaughtered in this engagement. That was pretty much textbook. I think both teams put up a good fight, but that was textbook from red team side. They went and grouped their forces together pretty much for a united front, and then pushed through this entire area where they were up against line infantry and katana kachi, who don't do that well against cavalry. They focused their cavalry. They focused their cavalry push on the eastern flank on the right side of the battlefield, overwhelmed Lekispan before his allies could do anything. And that's the problem with this map. That's the difficulty you'll encounter with this map, is that you have to commit to movements. It takes so long to get around to places, especially with this impassable terrain in these sections, especially down the center. You really have to commit to your movements, and it seems red team had a really good coordination among themselves. They agreed, let's go knock out one of them, gang up on one of them, and then take advantage of our superior numbers to completely envelop what's left of blue team. So I think a very snappy match, very good match overall still from both sides. Let's see what the counts, what the tallies are. Bisham Menton lost 1040, basically 2-1. He did really well, even though I don't think Bisham Menton had that much involvement in the fight overall, like directly. He had his general's bodyguard and his cavalry involved, but his men were mostly unengaged for most of the fight while they took out Lekispan. You can see that over here with, it's a complete reversal with Lekispan going 1-2 in his KD. He lost twice as much as he could kill. And it's similar things with Terry. C4 did slightly better. You can see that C4 and Terry, they were, based on numbers, they were putting up a fight towards the end, but no, it was, they just didn't have the numbers at that point to make it count, and they were caught in a really bad spot. They were caught in a really bad spot having a lot of ranged units, but not cavalry superiority. I think maybe the lack of cavalry might have cost blue team the game. They didn't have much cavalry, especially in the parts they were being engaged, and they lost a lot of them very early. Bisham Menton with very balanced kill counts. C4 not very good on the whole. Terry got Daikyu Samurai getting 171. That's really, even for Daikyu Samurai, that's very good considering the unit sizes. The Pope with, that is insane. Holy crap. I don't think I've ever seen, I'm not sure if I've ever watched a battle replay where anyone got this many kills in multiplayer on just one unit. 377. Holy crap. That's almost as much as the kills that entire players on the losing team got. That's insane. That's insane. That is insane. Yam also with some pretty balanced kill counts. Lekispan got some decent kills with his volleys in the opening, but he was fighting on level terrain or fighting uphill even, and getting his units overwhelmed by cavalry, getting caught in close quarters where it's just not ideal. Parrot guns. I didn't even realize he had a unit of parrot guns, and they're not a very good unit to have on this map, I think, because of the way the terrain is. But yeah, thank you so much for this replay, Bisham Menton, and to all the players over here. Really good match. And as always, guys, hop on the Discord, share some replays, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. This has been sitting there for maybe 1 month, Helly asking me on a daily basis to cover it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye! Hey there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, I do Let's Plays for strategy games like Total War, city builders like City Skylines and Frostpunk, open world games like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and first-person shooters like Battlefield 1 and Metro. You can hop onto Discord and join in on all the fun. And if you want to support the channel further, you can subscribe to my Patreon and gain access to exclusive videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!